friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, July 22nd, 2023. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I appreciate that you're spending part of your day or your evening with me. I know there are a lot of floss tubes out there to watch, so I appreciate your time. I can't believe it's almost the end of July. I have 1 week left of my summer vacation, my month off. It's gone so fast. I feel like this is the fastest year. I don't know, I probably say that every year too, but this time I mean it. I'm moving a little slow today. It's about 12:30. Usually I film a little bit earlier in the morning. I don't know why. Do you ever have those days where you're just moving slow? Like nothing hurts. I don't have a headache. Like I'm not sore, nothing like that. It's just, I'm just moving slow. But that's all right. It's been a productive month so far. So I think if we have a slower day, that's a-okay. Look at that. I made a rhyme for you. Look at my new background. My cabinets were finally delivered. Now, they were just delivered on Thursday. I have not spent a lot of time working on them yet, but let me just lift you up and show you. There's one, and then there's the other one, and then behind me is the file cabinet. So that is our new view. I will put pretty things behind me more. That is a fake, this is a fake plant because I can't keep plants alive to save my life. I keep trying and trying and trying, and that one is fake. So there you go. I uploaded, surprise, surprise, a finished parade this week. So if you haven't watched that yet, be sure to check that out. It's less than half an hour. It's just that's Jackie. It's just the pieces that I have not FFO'd yet that were in my drawer. I called it a drawer of shame, and my dear friend Candy corrected me and said it's a drawer of accomplishments, not shame. So thank you, Candy, for correcting me. Candy is with the 614 Stitcher. There's going to be a cat that's going to jump up here, right there, right on my notes. Okay, so this is Jack. You don't see him very often. You usually see Simon. You want to show your face? No, we do not want to show our face. He is purring, even though he looks like he hates this. He is purring. Anyway, so this is Jack, or Jackie Bean, or Jackson Maria when he's in trouble. So he is Simon's brother. They are from the same litter. And he's my, what we call mini panther in the business, in the cat business. He is sweet, but he's definitely the dominant one. Sorry. This is chaos. He's definitely the dominant one, but he's a big mama's boy. So he's like a little baby when it comes to me. And he will hide from other people, or he'll swat at them and hiss at them. But he's my little baby, and he is purring. You can see his little face there. He is also 16, just like Simon is, because they're from the same litter. So there you go. Okay, so I was talking about the finished parade. So those were my finishes that I have not FFO'd, because my plan is to do some FFOing. Well, my plan was to do some FFOing this past week. I didn't get anything done. I did go to Joann's and I got some fabrics and that type of thing, but I didn't actually get anything done. But maybe this coming week we can make some progress on that. But definitely go check that out. And I'm going to show you a couple of pieces here pretty soon from that finish parade that I have fixed. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. And then thank you for all your comments on the last video on the stained glass piece that I showed, the finish that I showed, where some of the lines were crooked. Your responses was not at all what I was expecting. I expected the vast majority of you to say, yep, totally see it. I would take it back to the framer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Several of you did say, yep, I see it, take it back, or if you're not happy, take it back. Several of you did, but the vast majority of you said, I don't see what you're talking about, which is so funny. And when I held it back, like I couldn't see it either, but when I looked at close, so stained glass has these long stitches that come out, it's a cross. I don't have it here to show you, which means I took it back to the framer. And so it has these long 310 lines that come out of the cross to show that it's like glowing or whatever. And some of them are perfectly straight and some of them turned out crooked. And I showed it and I was like, what do you all think? And so many of you said, I don't see what you're talking about. Or I kind of see it, but only when you pointed it out and whatever. When I looked at the piece, it's all I could see. So I did call the framer and I took it back in. They are lovely. He said, I think that's my fault. And I said, no, I think it's my fault. Because I should have couched the stitches. I did not do that. And so I think that made some of them wonky, but it was just on that one side that they were wonky. So I took it back. I had to drop it off, because they put pins, they pin it. So, I had asked him on the phone, I was like, is this something I can just take apart myself at home and fix? Or he said, no, he's like, I'd rather you just bring it in. And he's like, I can get it done in a couple of days to undo it. And then I have to go back, pick it up, and then fix it, and then bring it back. But I might also just sit in my car and fix it so I don't have to go back and forth. So we'll see what the timing looks like with that and when he can get it unframed. So I did take it back. So I truly appreciate all of your input and all of you who were like, I don't see what you're talking about. That was not what I was expecting at all. So I appreciate that. Thank you. But I did take it back. He did see it after I pointed it out. And I said, yeah, once you notice it, it's all I notice anyway. So that is back at the framers, and I will definitely show you the after. But he was very lovely. Again, I know I've talked about Christman's in Portland, and they have 3 locations. I go to the Lake Oswego one. If you're local, this means something to you. If you're not, it probably doesn't. There's one in Lake Oswego. There's one in Southeast, and then there's another one Southeast Portland, and then there's another one I don't know where, but there's I think on Burnside or something. There are 3 locations. I go to the Lake Oswego one. I'm sure the other ones are great too, but the Lake Oswego one is the one that's closest to me. So that's where I go if you are looking for a framer who does matte and glass. Acorns does framing, but they don't do matting or glass. Okay, let's get to the Q&A. So Anne, speaking of couching, Anne asked me, what do you mean by couching? Okay, so couching, when you have essentially, there's probably a better explanation, but when you have a long stitch, like a long straight stitch, you can basically tack it down on the front so that the stitch doesn't go wonky, such as when you frame it. So you go up in one hole, use the same thread, you go up in one hole, and then you loop it over, and then you go back down in the same hole, and it kind of tacks it down, and it's not very noticeable. You don't want to pull too tight, otherwise you'll see the long stitch will be pulled in that particular area. So you don't want to pull too tight, but it will just keep it in place a little bit. If anybody has a better explanation of what couching is, that's what I understand it to be, is essentially just tacking it down, but you do it from the front, and that's what I should have done. So hopefully that helps. I also had another question about Dorothy, who said that, who asked about my planner, because I had shown a few months ago now my new planner for the next 2 years. I had shown it, and she said, you said it was different. Can you show what you mean? So yes. So I use a $7, $8 planner from Amazon for my stitching. I have a different one for work. But let me show you. Let's look at the planners through the years, shall we? It will not take long, I promise. Here's my first one. This is the 2020-2021 monthly planner. Isn't that beautiful? Blue is my favorite color. I love the pinks on it. It is actually literally falling apart. But I love it because it's like, listen, I come from a line of record keepers in my family. I have librarians and teachers, and we like to keep records. So this is my first planner. It's a 2-year planner. Then when that one was finished up, I bought this one, the 2022-2023 planner, which is similar cover, but also different. So this felt fancy and new, and same thing, same idea. And so we're halfway through the year, so I like to plan. So I was looking for the next 2-year planner, and this is really different. What? It's a little bit bigger too. This is the 2024-2025 planner. It's basically the same. It's just a little different font. I think it's just a different designer. So that's what the inside looks like. So it has these squares and the notes, which I really like, on the side, and then it has these note pages in between, which is important for listing my acrostic and all that. So let's see. These two are the same size. As you can see, they're the same size. I love it when they get a little like used, you know what I mean? And then the new one is going to be thinner because it hasn't been used, but you can see it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit taller and a little bit, well, you can't really see, a little bit wider. But this is how they'll look on the shelf. So, and I do still reference my old one. I do. So I am happy to have these. But this is what my new one will look like. You just look for a monthly planner. I think this is one of those things where they just print them when you order it, because the date in the back here says March 29th, 2023, which is probably when I ordered it. So I think they just print them to order. And there's a lot of different design covers. So I just looked for a 2-year planner, and they shouldn't be more than $6 or $7 each. So this is the new one that we'll be using. You don't see it very often because I mostly just use it to keep track of the amount of time I've stitched and my finishes and all of that. So Dorothy, I hope that helps answer your question, but feel free to let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, let's look at what I've worked on. Now I'm not really considering these whips. I'm just considering these, fixes. This one is such a hot mess. Okay, so the first one is You Are So Loved, and this is a freebie by the Snowflower Diaries. And I wanted to fix the You Are So because it was basically the same color as the fabric and you could hardly read it. And my friend Lynn suggested don't frog out the letters, just put another thread over the top. So that's what I did. I pulled this bluish purple from here and just went over the top. And I like it a lot better. Up close, it looks like a hot mess. It looks like a hot mess up close. But from a distance where you'll be looking at it, you can actually read it now. So I'm much happier with it. It just looks messy because it's basically 3 strands of floss. It's the 2 strands that I did in the original color and then the 1 strand that I went over the top. And it doesn't lay super nice, but I think from a distance it's fine. And I had this hot glued onto like a piece of acid-free cardboard and then in a frame. So I heated up the hot glue with my iron, which I know is dangerous. It didn't get on the iron. And I was able to take it. I mean, it's a hot mess, you guys. Like, you don't even, yeah. I don't know how I'm going to finish it. I don't want it in a frame. I think it'd be a cute little pillow, but the shape is kind of weird. It's kind of like, it's kind of an oval, kind of round, somewhere in between round and oval. So I do kind of think a little pillow would be very cute, but I'm not sure. I want to find something to trace around it as a shape. I thought about I forgot to look at, when I went to Joann's this week, I forgot to look for in the quilting section, sometimes they have templates of shapes, but I don't know what shape. Let's work on our shapes today, children. Tell me what shape this would be. What shape would you make that? Oval? Round? I don't know. But I fixed it, and I'm much happier with the way it looks from a distance. Okay, so I worked on that. And then this one I'm not done with yet. There is a floss still on. This is Cross Stitch Nation. This is by Heartstring Samplery. Okay, so I decided that I was just going to stitch in the needle and the thread. So she's done. She has her needle and her thread in. And then I started working. I took the hoop out. I decided just to stitch the hoop in as well. And then she has her needle. She just needs her thread. And then I have two other ladies that need their needle and their thread. And I'm just using whatever thread I have access to. I'm not worrying about the colors and all that because it's just kind of a mishmash of colors, which is fine. I was working on this while I was waiting for you know how they give you like a 3-hour delivery window and you don't know for sure when they're going to come. So I was working on this while I was waiting for my delivery and then got that done, got her needle done, and then I almost got his hoop done, and then it was like, oh, they're delivering it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. It won't take too long, but I'm much happier. I am leaving the scissors. I do kind of like the 3D dimension of the scissors. I think it's kind of cute. And so I'm going to leave them. And also her scissors go across her body. So in the pattern, you leave out the stitches of the dress across that middle portion so that you can stitch in the scissors. But I've already stitched her dress. I'm not going to mess with that. The scissors are fine. I mean, they're comically large compared to like the needle, but that's okay. I think it will be cute. And I wasn't going to put a glass on this one anyway. I was just going to get it framed. So that's where we are at with I Belong to the Cross Stitch Nation. I'm much happier with that too, especially once it gets done. Okay, so those are my fixes. Now, I'm sorry, you're kind of jiggly today, so aren't we all, my friends? Okay, I had to finish. As you could tell by the title of this video, I had a very hard-fought finish, which if you've been around for a while, you probably know what it is. Hearthside Christmas is officially done. I'll show you from a distance and then I'll show you up close. Here we go. I got it all done. My border matched up perfectly, which I could not believe. This is by Erica Michaels. It is called Hearthside Christmas. And it says, friends for your fireside, a wreath for your door, more pleasure at Christmas than ever before, contentment and laughter, good times and good cheer, and peace to go with you all through the new year. It's done. It took me in total a little over 69 hours, about 69 and a quarter hours. I stitched this on a 32 count pearwood by Color and Cotton. I still have a good portion left of it, so down below that I can use for something else. I started this on December 31st of 2020, and I finished it July 21st, last night, 2023. This piece, it is there is nothing wrong with the pattern. Anything that went wrong with this piece was 100% me. I have not ironed it yet either. I struggle with satin stitches for some reason. And so these little blocks all the way around are supposed to be satin stitches. And I struggled and struggled and struggled with it. I didn't like the way they looked. They were all very, very wonky to me. Even though this is an even weave, I don't know what I was doing. And then someone suggested just do them as full X's. And I'm like, okay. So I changed it to full X's. And then let me show you this row. This row is also supposed to be like a design of satin stitches. I just did it in full X's in the pattern colors, and I think it's fine. You wouldn't necessarily know. So I did that. The rest of it is as called for. This has one strand of Algerian eyelets, which was fun to do. That white border or that white band is not for the faint of heart. It is a bunch of white snowflakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white snowflakes in a row. There are only 2 designs. At first I was like, oh my God, are they all different? There are 2 different designs of snowflakes and they alternate during that row. And then this, so I was running out of the color that you use for the words, which is Weeks Dye Works Chestnut. And I thought, oh, I might just have just enough. And then as I was ending my stitching session, which I could have finished this on Thursday, but I realized that the word piece and the word two were either too high or too low. I can't remember now. They were off. So I had to frog those out. I couldn't save that floss because this is a tighter weave. And I used 2 strands on 32 count. So I couldn't really save that floss. And so I was worried. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to finish. So I did go to Acorns yesterday and picked up another skein of that floss. As it turns out, I didn't need it. I did have enough. I have literally 2 strands, like a little bit of 2 strands left for something else. But I wasn't sure, so I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I can use that skein for something else. So, 69.25 hours. I was not loving this one. There is a lot of repetition in this one. So that border around the outside, after I had the border like halfway done, somebody said, you don't really need that border because you have this interior border, which I agree. I think the border looks great, but if I were to redo this, I probably would leave off this outer border unless you're in love with it and just do this border because it's going to be framed anyway, right? So there's a lot of repetition. I mean, this band here, you're doing that over and over and over again. Like, it's just a lot. The words go fast and the little designs are very cute. I love this forest one. And of course the words go pretty quick. But man, these 10 snowflakes, and it shows up better in person. It really does. With the white, it's kind of faded on the screen, but there's a little dove at the beginning, and then there's the 10 snowflakes. So, Hearthside Christmas is done. Yes. Thrilled to have her done. Thrilled to have her done. So, that is actually number 8. I have to take a picture of it, but that is number 8 out of 12 of my Year of Whips finishes. So I just have to take a picture and upload it to the Facebook page. So I'm excited about that. So I now have 8 of my 12 done. So yay. That also counted for the H in Hippo for the acrostic this month. H for Hearthside Christmas. Okay. Other projects we worked on this week. That's also my Jolly July. So that was my goal, was to finish it this month. And I did. Okay, so we're doing Tour de France, which is in full coverage Fanatics. I am using Cat Alphabet, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Irina Garmashova. And we are here in this very first block. So many of you comment about how much you love seeing this one. And I do too. I really love working on it. I'm kind of in the spot where we're not seeing a whole lot happen, but it all needs to get done. So this is where we are. So I'm just working on the cat. You can see the ear. His ear is coming in there. But yeah, I basically just worked on filling it. But you see his tabby stripes a lot more. He looks so much like my Simon up there. So that's where I worked in. This week I got 1,048 stitches in. I started the week at 3.44% of the way done with this whole project, and I'm now at 3.77% done. So I did over 1,000 stitches, and I got, what is that, like 0.3% done. It's a big one. It's definitely a big one. Somebody asked how big this was, and it's like 625 stitches wide by like 501 stitches high or something like that. It's big. so we had a rest day this week, which I went ahead and stitched on for just like an hour or so, just to put in some extra stitches because I wasn't sure what the rest of the week would bring. You know what I mean? So technically, Tour de France ends, so tomorrow, Sunday, July 23rd, is the last day. So I have 2 more days to stitch on this. If we are going just by numbers of stitches, I only need 12 more stitches to finish the whole thing, which is 3,404 stitches, I think. I'm over 11,800 stitches done on this whole thing so far. So I'm not going to stop though. I'm still going to do the number of stitches for each day, today and tomorrow, just to finish this up. And then we'll just get some extra stitching in on it. But yeah, I mean, this was not, I mean, it looks nice now because you can see it come in, but it's just like, it's not quite as fun as this was with the bright colors. But I mean, this is a cat and you have to start, before you see the cute little face and all of that. So this has been really, really fun. And next week, when we finish the challenge, I will show you where we started at the beginning of July with this piece and where we're ending up. So yes, this is fun. So that is Cat Alphabet. Okay, so the next one I worked on is Summer Montage, which is artwork by Janet Stever, and it is charted by Painfree Crafts. This is the summer one, which I work on every Sunday for Seasonal Sunday, and we are right here in the rows. So this piece, I did start working on the rows because I wanted to. So here's where we are. So we worked up in this area. I got 434 stitches done on this last Sunday, and I am now at 1.57% done. It's more orangey than I thought. I mean, I guess technically it's coral. I thought it was going to be more of a pink rose, but it's more of a coral rose. So that was a little surprising for me, but that's okay. That's fine. So you can see there's some gaps in here that I need to go back in and fill in and then carry my way down. I'm at the point on this where not all of my threads are deskeined, if you will. So some of my time is spent deskeining them. Is that the word? I don't know. But the greens look really nice, and it was nice to work on some other colors and kind of, so I'll probably just kind of continue filling in and work our way down as we do. And then we're going to need to pull over, and I think there's a few more rows down here for the bottom border. But this is Summer Montage, just coming along. And then, so this is, I forgot to mention, this is 24 hours random thread. There we go. This is 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. Last night I actually got less time than I have the rest of the month in, just because, I don't know, I'm going to keep stitching this weekend, but I'm not going to get 18 hours in like my goal was. I don't know why. There's a lot of other stuff going on. And now that I only have 1 week left of my vacation, I'm just kind of like, I want to do things. I want to sew and I want to, organize these cabinets. And I just need a reset, if you will, before I go back to work in August. So we are in the middle of 24 hours of cross stitch. So if you're participating, I hope you're doing well and meeting your goals. Okay, the next piece that I worked on, because I had a little bit of time last night, Cat Alphabet took me about an hour and a half. I think Hearthside Christmas only took me like an hour to finish up, so I'm like, I have a little more time. So I pulled out E Pluribus Unum by Jan Hicks Creates to work on this. I am stitching this on a piece of Color and Cotton 32 count eggnog. And basically all I did was some of this blue field. You can see I had the called for wavy navy in there, and I decided to take it out and just use the DM Conceived conversion just for the blue field. Just because, I don't know. I don't know why. I worried that I was going to start going in circles around the stars to fill in the stars, because the stars are just far enough apart for me that I don't super trust my counting. And so I can see me like, oh, I'm going to fill in around these stars, and then I'll be able to do some more white stars. Anyway, it makes sense in my head. Because I like to do, when there's light and dark, I do the light color first, and then I go and do the dark around it, because there's less chance of pulling through the dark color if you do the light color. So if I were to do the white, if I were to do the blue and leave open spaces for the white when I went in to do the white, there's a better chance for me, the way I stitch, of pulling in the dark blue into some of the white, and I don't want that to happen. So I was watching Dateline. It was a spooky one, as they all are, and I just worked on, so that was just kind of mindless. And now I'm at the top of the first row of stars, so I can maybe use part of the blue filled to count over and do some more of the stars. So we are using hashtag JHC for Jan Hicks Creates, JHC E Pluribus Unum Sal. So there's several else who are working on this. And this will come out again this week as we finish up July. So that was fun to give it a little more time, and I do want to give it more time. I started this in the beginning of the month. I only gave it one day, and I want to give it a little more time. So that's everything that I worked on this week. Let's do giveaways. I can't remember if I do giveaways next or haul. I think I usually do haul next, but let's do some giveaways. Okay, so last week we were giving away this adorable little JBW Designs French Country Squirrel, and the winner is Catherine Baker Gago. Kathy, I have your address because you have won recently. If you have moved since I last sent you something, let me know. But otherwise, I have your address. So I will just go ahead and get this in the mail to you on Monday. And the winner of this piece, this is Country Spirits Collection Pumpkin Picking Truck, Homespun Elegance. And the winner is Carla Haskell. Carla, I have your address as well. Again, unless you have moved, so I will get this in the mail to you. Carla lives not very far away from me. Maybe I'll drop it off at your house. Just kidding. I won't show up here. She's like, get the security cameras out. Carolyn's coming over. I won't show up at your house unannounced. I promise. But, yes, I will get this in the mail to you as well. So congratulations to those winners. And I don't need to collect addresses from you. So I do have giveaways for this week as well. 3 of them. Open internationally. Be 18 so you can give me your address. Don't say giveaway or winner or anything like that in your comment, or otherwise I'll have to delete it. But first up, we're going to give away our side Christmas. You guys, I just need this. This is nothing to do against the designer. It's Linda Stoltz for Erica Michael Designs. It's 100% me. But we're going to give this away because it needs to be out of my house. There is a little notification here. This is just the diagrams of how to do the stitches. But so just make sure you note that there was a typo in the chart. And when I bought it, it had this little reminder on it. So if you've been warned, but if you want this, say hearth, Hearth. That is what I will look for. Hearth. For her side Christmas. I can't wait to read the comments about yeah, of course you're giving that one away. The next 2 are from the stash that Sandy sent to us to give away. So thank you again, Sandy. We have Little House Needleworks. This is called Autumn Band Sampler. This one is 61 stitches wide by 149 high. There are DMC alternatives, but the called for is Classic Colorworks and a couple of Gast. But again, you can use the DMC if you'd like. So it's a cute little band sampler. And if you would like to win this, say Autumn. 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 And then the last one we're going to give away, also from Sandy, is by Ink Circles. This is called Red's Treehouse. And I think it's cute with the little squirrel. Perfect for autumn. Can you see our theme? This one is 80 stitches wide by 53 stitches high. Red's Treehouse. And if you would like to win this, say tree. This one calls for sampler, gentle art sampler and shaker threads. And there is a DMC conversion if you want. Or you can use whatever you want. So, Hearthside Christmas. I don't think I told you the stitch count because it's not on the back here. I used the fat quarter, and you saw that it didn't even use up the whole thing. So, and that's 32 count. I bet it would still fit on a 28 count if you use that. Okay, so those are our giveaways for this week. So, haul. So, for haul, I ordered from Garan the 2023 Halloween special edition of Just Cross Stitch. I'm going to do a flip through. I owe you so many flip throughs. I'm going to work on doing a bunch of them either this weekend or throughout this week. So you can see what's inside this one. But I got one for me. I got one for you. The giveaway will be on the flip through of this. So if you want an opportunity to win this, you will have to watch the flip through, which I know not everybody does. But I'm telling you right now, when you see the Halloween flip through, if you want an opportunity to win it, you have to watch the video. That's how I get you. And then they sent along 2 Garan needle minders. So I will be giving one of those away. That will go with the magazine to the winner. One of those will go. So that's all I got from Garan. I was very well behaved. But I have to go to their site and do some shopping today. Okay, so then when I was at Acorns, I was also very well behaved. I went to get that skein of floss that thought I was missing from Hearthside Christmas that I ended up not needing. I needed a skein of metallic for Glitter House that was just on my list of like, next time I go in, I need to grab this. So I grabbed that. And then I had a project bag. So Corey makes these gorgeous project bags for Acorns. And I showed last week, or maybe the week before, I got a thread bed in this fabric. And so I messaged her. I was like, do you have any more of this fabric? She said, I have just enough for one bag. I was like, I'm calling dibs. I want it. And it's Crafty Corey stitches. And then, so here's the front and here's the inside. So I had this to go pick up, and then she always does a really cute little zipper pull with a little daisy flower on it. It's blue, it's daisy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love her bags. And then, of course, they had other bags there that I was looking through, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Look at this fabric. So I got this one too. And the inside, it's crazy, and I love it, and it works. It is wild. Look at that interior fabric. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then here is the zipper pull with a dragonfly. Oh, it's better if I don't hold it. With the dragonfly. So, I got those 2 bags from Crafty Corey. So thanks, Corey. I love it. And that's all I have for haul. See, that'd be very good. Very good. Except for the 2 bags. But okay. Plans. So what are our plans? So we're going to continue. We're going to finish up Cat Alphabet Tour de France 2 more days. This is counted as my 25/7 cross stitch, 25/7 piece for this month, even though it's way more than 25 minutes a day. But I'll talk about what happens when that ends in just a second. Summer Montage will come out tomorrow, Sunday, for its rotation. So we'll be working on that. I think E Pluribus Unum is going to come out again one of these days this week. So we'll see a little more progress and hopefully be able to give it a good 3 hours. So once Tour de France is over, I don't, that's a big piece to pull out if you're just doing 25 minutes a day, right? So I'm going to switch my 25/7 piece, and this is also going to be my 25/7 piece for the month of August, so hopefully you won't get sick of it, but I'm going to do Woodland Christmas. So this is the series that I'm getting all these charts for. You know, they're all these charts. This is the first one that I got done. And so here it is. This is the 28 count Dove gray that I had in my stash. So number 1 is done. So I'm going to start on number 2. 6, 2. Okay. So here's 2. The reindeer. It's very, very cute. So I'm going to start on that. We'll see how far we get between this month and next month. It'll be about a week this month, and then next August, if I use this for my 25/7 piece, that will be good good progress on this, because I do want to work on it, you know. And that one is a good one for 25/7 because it's easier. You know, there's not as much color changes, so I can make some good progress on that. So that will be fun to pull out. And then our last Christmas in July piece that we're going to work on for 5 days is going to be 1 Down, 3 Across by Long Dog. So I started this last year with my friend Andrea. I am just up here. I have the tiniest start. I think I only worked on it one evening. I'm using B5200 on a navy. It is a 28 count navy, and that's where we're at. It looks so good on this blue fabric. And I look forward to getting some more progress on it this week. This one and Woodland Christmas, I think, if Melanie does Year of Whips again next year, which I hope she does, this one will be on my Year of Whips list to finish, and the Woodland Christmas one will as well. Even though there's 12 parts to that one, I only have 1 part done. So yeah, so I think that's everything. E Pluribus Unum will come out. Summer Montage, 1 Down, 3 Across, which is what I just showed you. We'll finish up Tour de France with Cat Alphabet, and then we'll pull out Woodland Christmas for our new 25/7 piece. So that is everything, I think. I'm looking around to make sure I've showed you everything, and I think I have. You all are so wonderful. I just appreciate all your comments so much. And I hope you're doing well. I hope, oh my gosh, people who live in Phoenix, Arizona, I know there's heat everywhere, but they have had over 110 degrees for something like 30 days straight. It's insane. Please take care of yourself. Even if you're indoors in the air conditioning, it's still important to drink a lot of water and just kind of take it easy. And the flooding in Vermont, I mean, it's just take care of yourselves and get some stitches in, and, you know, just move slowly if you have to. Like I'm having a slow day. It's okay to have a slow day. All right, everyone. I adore you. I will see you all next week. Bye.